right, we got the XM satellite radio ads. These are great. This is why we're brilliant broadcasters. We see the future. We saw the future many years ago before we fucked up on commercial radio.
I see flying cars and Mylar suits in the next 10 years. Everybody's going to be wearing Mylar suits. We will have flying cars. We got this right.
Yeah, we certainly did get this right.
We could predict the future now.
So just to give you the setup, before we became the pioneers of satellite radio, Anthony and I were doing the old commercial radio thing.
Way back when. Barely remember what that was like.
We were very successful, syndicated across America in some fine markets, and then we blew it up.
Might have heard of a little town called Boston.
That's right.
Might have heard a little hamlet of Philadelphia.
Let's not forget Columbus, Ohio.
Can't we, please? And, of course, New York City, the crossroads of the world, perhaps.
How about Vegas? Philly, D.C., Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle.
How about a chilly little place called Buffalo, New York?
Buffalo and Rochester, New York. There you have it.
Just a few of the markets. That was everyone. How about New Orleans?
New Orleans, that's right.
Cleveland.
Chicago.
Dallas, Texas.
I said Dallas already.
I like to say Dallas, so I said it again.
All right. Sacramento, California.
Sacramento.
Anyway, so we're doing quite well, and everybody wanted to advertise on our show. Even XM satellite radio.
They knew.
They knew
the demo we held, the power we held with it. They knew who they wanted initially when the satellite started up.
And right off the bat, this goes back easily 3 years. Right off the bat, we're like, this is the future of radio. It's growing by leaps and bounds. This is definitely competition. We have to look at it as competition right off the bat.
What did you honestly think when you first heard, like, satellite radio, you can say whatever the hell you want? Weren't you thinking somewhere, I want to be on that?
Absolutely. But at the time, first of all, we were in a contract. Second of all,
we were doing really well.
We were doing really well, and satellite radio was still kind of just growing, you know?
They only had, at this point, they only had a few 100,000 listeners.
Probably, yeah. Probably less than 1 million.
It had to be less than 1 million.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Over 3, dude. We were off for 2 fucking years.
So this is over 3, maybe 3.5, 4 years
ago. I'm sure they had under 1 million listeners and subscribers. And, you know, to go over there, it was almost everyone was equating it to, like, E-Yada, that online radio, where, 50 people at a time could listen, and then it started clipping. And people on it were, like, approaching us and going, dude, it's the future. Is this internet radio? And I'm like, no, it's not.
No, I can't get my computer on the dashboard, so
can't get it in the car, especially at that point. Yeah, you couldn't do that. So no, it wasn't. We weren't considering it.
Right.
Timing wise, it worked out perfectly.
What's interesting about this goes back, like I said, 3 to 4 years ago, and guys on regular radio today are still denying that satellite radio is going to be anything.
Yep.
Dummies. A bunch of dummies out there. So we did not feel good about taking the XM satellite radio ads as we're doing our commercial radio show.
We let it be known.
And they're like, just shut up and play the commercials, right? And one day we had it. We absolutely had it. So the commercial's playing for XM satellite radio, and the commercials are saying how great XM is, and I just turned on the mics and said, fuck this.
The sound.
100 digital channels of music.
The competition
news,
is now advertising on our show,
coast
Anthony.
to coast. So whether you're into hip-hop or
we
bebop,
have sales
news or
force
blues,
that work in this
rock
building.
stars or stock cars, you'll hear more, know more, and go deeper than you ever did before.
What I'm hooked on right now is blues stuff. They have a wide variety of things I've never heard before. I could drive all the way to New York and never have to change the channel.
It's easy to add XM to any existing car stereo, starting as low as $300. Visit your local electronics store for a demonstration. Learn more at xmradio.com.
What? It is absolutely fabulous.
Beyond AM, beyond FM, XM, radio to the power of X. Price may vary by model and retailer. Some models require additional installation fee. Antenna and subscription also required.
Douchebag!
What are you doing this New Year's Eve?
Isn't that amazing?
Opie's just yelling like a maniac right over the commercial.
Isn't that amazing, though?
That wasn't a recording, by the way, of the commercial playing and then Opie off-air ranting about it.
Oh, no, that was on the air.
That is how it aired.
That's how their fine commercial aired. XM should get their money back for that one.
They did when they signed us.
Just letting the Trojan horse come rolling in.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, this is a pretty horse for them to leave for us.
Just to put it in perspective, that would be like us running ads for Howard for the other satellite radio company.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Taking their money and going,
Same
well,
thing.
it's money, it's revenue, who cares? It's the competition.
And that's what their the party line was over at Infinity was, hey, they're paying for it. We'll air their commercials. They saw it as no threat. They saw it. They had no vision that this was going to do anything.
Yeah.
And they just saw it as, hey, take their money.
Oh, it's so short-sighted. You got to be cutthroat.
Well,
cutthroat.
Fuck you.
Right?
Advertise on the internet.
It gets better. So then when we were done with our 15 minutes of commercials, we finally got to go back to our regular show, and this is how we got back into it. We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. Oi! And it's official. We have a bunch of whores that work for this company. That's for sure. Holy S! We're running a spot on the Opie and Anthony Show for satellite radio.
Yeah, satellite radio. You know, it's the new...
And no one has a problem with this in this company? That's called the competition. And they're advertising during our show, telling people basically that they have another option out there.
That all over, like, no matter where you drive, you won't lose the signal. They're talking about all this great stuff that you don't get by listening to the very station that's advertising it. Who gave the okay to take that?
Bunch of whores. Hard enough to compete in this day and age in radio, and now they're just going to run spots for the competition on our show. And they have no problem with this whatsoever. So there you go. Just so you're not confused, that's us, 4 years ago about on regular radio, just losing our minds because they're running XM spots during our show.
And it was so obvious that people were starting to get excited about satellite radio. It was something that, as we were listening to it, you'd say to yourself, wow, that does sound cool. You get all kinds of formats of music. You could drive coast to coast and not have to change the station once if you don't want to.
Right.
It's not regulated by the FCC.
Right.
This is fan-fucking-tastic.
And this proves we're brilliant broadcasters because now 3-4 years later, regular radio is in deep trouble.
In deep trouble, and
they could have controlled it a little bit if they were smart enough to see what was coming 4 years ago.
They still advertise, though, right? They still allow them to advertise?
No. Finally, they've turned the corner, most of these radio companies, and they will not accept spots for satellite radio. Finally. Wow. It continues here.
They're making spots against satellite radio now.
Exactly.
Now, the same stations that were airing, hey, this satellite radio is great. Come on over. We'd love to have you. Are now going, hey, why pay for radio? Now they're all... Why pay for fucking radio, man? You don't want to pay for it.
Well, we got the famous one. We got like 10 of them, but here's the one we really like.
Here's some of the same stations that were running the commercials you just heard.
Right. Now this is today, what they're doing on regular radio.
In music news, you'll never believe who was arrested on stage last night for performing a lewd act. It was so outrageous, we can't even describe it on the radio. You might expect this behavior from heavy metal or rap stars, but this time the guilty party is none other than the easy listening sensation.
Please deposit 25 cents for the next 3 minutes.
Radio. You shouldn't have to pay for it. This message brought to you by America's 13,000 local radio stations who believe some things were just meant to be free.
A bit hypocritical, isn't it?
Don't pay no attention to those commercials we aired 3 or 4 years ago. We really didn't mean it. We were just in for the cash.
That's right. I bought a new boat from that money.
So outrageous, we can't even tell you on the radio.
Yeah, they're still not getting it right.
But they can on the satellite, by the way.
Yeah.
You know how she was saying? Edited in the old XM commercial there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then going back, here's us on commercial radio. Really pissed off because we have XM commercials on our show. We discuss it more here. They bought our show because we have a huge audience, okay?
Yeah.
And the commercial is basically telling everyone that you don't need to, listen to Opie and Anthony. There's other choices out there. Why don't they just run a commercial with every other show that is on, against us?
Yeah.
And then have the listeners decide, well, I'm going to try out a couple of these shows.
I got an idea. Here's what he's going to say. Oh, they're not going to do well. It's just like that click radio and the e-yada and all the internet radio thing that failed. So we'll take a little bit of their money. And it'll just fail anyway. But the thing is, it's not like internet radio. It's going to be installed in cars and stuff.
Oh, that HBO, it'll never catch on.
That'll never catch on.
It's silly. People paying for TV, it'll never happen.
If man were meant to fly, he'd have wings.
That is a huge insult, man. I hope they're getting a lot of money to whore themselves out like that.
Man can't ride on trains. Don't you know if a human being exceeds 30 miles an hour, he will surely perish? You know, they used to think that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is. So there you go. We're back here on XM.
It's pretty impressive.
Kind of taking a look at the old days 4 years ago when they accepted XM spots on our very successful commercial radio show.
We had the vision. We knew that this was going to be successful.
We always have the vision.
You know where the next
brilliant
step is.
broadcasters. People just don't realize that yet. And that's our frustration every day. Finally, I had it. You're going to hear a curse. And you're listening to satellite radio, so like whatever, a curse. Just remember, going back about 3 or 4 years, this is on commercial radio, but I was just losing my mind. I just couldn't understand why they would do this to us. Radio's really the best part. Yeah, I got to stop the tape. The best part, there's good old Ben Sparks in the background laughing like an idiot.
Years ago, cackling Ben included.
Just in case you thought this was the new Ben on XM, no, he's been laughing like an idiot for many years for us. Many years. Radio's really getting pathetic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This used to be a business where every radio station was for themselves, and they just literally fought on the street. We used to get in fights because someone else's van was parked outside the venue for a concert. Now all the stations are owned by the same person or the same company, and they don't want you talking bad about this station or that station because you're going to hurt the company. It's making radio so bland and boring.
Yeah.
And now on top of that, they don't mind taking advertising dollars from the competition.
Right.
They see no problem with this. Holy shit! They don't see a problem with this?
Will there be cursing over this satellite radio? Because I might want to gig over there.
I'm sure.
I want to gig over there.
You know.
It's not regulated.
And here we are back on XM.
Look at that. I want a gig over there.
Cursing on
Asking you shall receive.
Should hand that tape into the FCC. We got away with one back then.
Whoa.
Someone is requesting, let me go to Pete. I haven't heard this stuff in a long time. Pete in Rhode Island. Pete?
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys could play the clip where you get your bigger boss on the phone and he's like, oh, don't worry about XM. No, they're nothing.
Oh, Ken Stevens. I think that's the next clip we got here.
Oh, excellent.
All right. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks.
I don't remember how this went down, but then we just would not go on with our show. We were obsessed with this whole, playing XM commercials on our commercial radio show. And finally, we got Ken Stevens, our general manager, on the phone.
What a set of balls when you have the ratings that we had over there. Because you could just do anything except have a couple fucking church. But besides that, I mean, anything.
Right. Well, we're cursing.
Yeah.
I don't think we got in trouble for that. So we got Ken Stevens. He was the guy running the station at the time. He was one of our really good friends over there.
Yeah, we like Ken.
That's stuck up for us on many occasions with that whole stupid Howard battle. But here's Ken explaining the XM ads to us.
So the question is, somebody said to me, you're wondering why we're taking these XM satellite ads?
Very good. You actually understood the question also, Ken Stevens. Yes. Why are we advertising
for satellite radio
an option to listening to this very program?
Pretend for a minute that you don't know anything about the radio business, and you're just the average guy listening in your car to those XM radio spots.
Okay.
Do they make any sense to you?
Hold on, let me put myself in there, Ken. You asked us for a lot, and you're not giving us time.
Sorry.
Hold on. Okay, I'm sitting. Opie, sit.
So you're saying advertising doesn't work and no one should advertise on radio?
Maybe it's your show. No.
Holy
He's also basically talking down to the listeners.
Right.
Too. They're a bunch of morons.
They don't understand words like satellite. It's something up in space, and they don't know that. You got to be a rocket scientist to know about satellites. Jesus Christ,
Meanwhile,
Ken.
the ad completely explains it.
Yeah,
And they have everyday Joes going, I can get in my car and drive all the way across the country.
You want to hear any
of satellite radio? You want to hear any format you want from coast to coast without changing the dial? Satellite radio. All right.
Wait, you got to slow that down, man.
Wait.
I'm just the average everyday guy. I can't take in words that quick.
I didn't understand what you meant by format of music.
Fuck, I should have taped the show. Then I could rewind it.
Oh, is that a poor argument?
I nailed him so bad.
Advertising doesn't work. No. It's just fine. Keep it coming.
Going back to the tape, I know I'm saying this a million times, but there are dummies out there. This is us on commercial radio discussing why are we playing XM commercials.
It's your show. No. I think that if you listen to the commercials the way we're running them, they're not awfully attractive.
Did you hear the one?
How many of your friends are going to go out and spend whatever? What does it say?
On now insert color TV here, insert radio here, insert car here, where he is going to say, are going to buy this right now? I don't know.
Insert Xbox instead of PlayStation.
Right. Insert any new technology. Ken, did you hear the one part in that commercial where he says, boy, I could drive through New York and I don't have to change the station?
No, I heard the one where he said, and my favorite is the Blues Channel.
Right. Where he can
I'm not really worried about losing a whole lot of audience to the Blues Channel.
Oh, well, you're not, Ken, huh?
Wow, you
guys. When those ratings come out and they're down, who will be getting yelled at?
Hey, you know what? If your ratings are down and your audience has moved over to satellite radio, I'll stop taking those commercials.
But it's a little here, a little there. It adds up after a while. Absolutely.
Wow.
Live here on XM.
I don't think I've ever seen you guys so 100% in the right.
Isn't it so cool that it is almost like me and Opie went into a DeLorean. We reached 88 miles an hour, went to the future, came back, and just shoved it in Ken's face. We have seen it.
And you know how many people did come over to XM?
Everything he said, like, well, you know, little by little,
it adds up. The programming. Oh, it's the Blues channel. Yeah, well, some people want to hear that. There's
Plus,
plenty
what I also love is you guys would get in trouble for shitting on the people who advertise, and that's exactly what he's doing here. Going, hey, if you listen to those ads stink.
They don't even make sense.
They don't even make sense.
I didn't understand a word.
Bill, it's called.
And their product stinks. I wouldn't listen to the Blues channel.
I don't think we're going to. If your ratings go down because of satellite, I'll stop taking the ads.
Bill, it's called chipping away. Chipping away.
Ting, 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 ting.
We're big fans of chipping away.
Chip.
You know, he had to take the call from the guy who's paying for the ads for XM right after that. Then he go, okay, wait a second. I want you to just imagine that you don't know anything about advertising.
Yeah. He's always wanting us to imagine something.
Yeah.
Picture, if you will.
Right.
A world in which.
Right. No,
people who speak English do not understand it.
We love the chipping away concept. We've been chipping away at Howard's credibility for years and his hypocrisies.
Satellite radio. It's not going to go anywhere. They barely got up that Sputnik thing.
Right.
You think they're going to be able to get a satellite up there that plays music?
It continues. We ended up giving these guys like a 20 to 30-minute commercial that day.
We helped them
You're
out.
going to leave cars at the airport and rent them, and people are going to...
That'll never fly. People want to have the comfort of their own vehicle.
Right.
They'll have a relative who could pick them up. Craziness.
I don't want that. Why would people want a turbine jet engine when the propeller is perfectly fine on these aircraft? You get cross country in a day.
They're too noisy, and people are not going to like them.
Why would you want
the propeller gives people a comfort factor. They see it
Who would want to go to the bathroom in their own house?
When a perfectly good outhouse is right outside, keeping the stink and stench out of doors.
Fertilizing your backyard.
Why would you want a direct flight to Vegas when you could go all the way to L.A. and then go to Vegas after having one of your tickets canceled?
People like seeing different cities, even ones that they don't want to go to.
Why would you want to fly into the airport that has your car? That's just plain stupid.
That is ridiculous.
When you could fly to another airport
and
still
then
an airport. Drive from that airport to the airport where your car is
I want you to imagine for a second you know nothing about travel.
Right. Imagine you're sitting on a plane that's going where you don't want to go.
That's right.
And you're just
you don't have to imagine. You were there.
That's why, Don, I'm so tough, because I'm sick of working with dummies.
Wow.
That's why.
Jiminy Cricket.
You went for big air on that one.
Dummies.
Lots and
foul
lots
language.
of dummies. We're proving that we're brilliant broadcasters right here and now. We have the vision.
We can see into the future.
Just trust us.
That was pretty damn impressive. I got to give you that.
That was very
We got more. We got more, because then there's a question here. Could O&A go to satellite?
Oh, Jesus.
So going back in time, we're doing our commercial radio show discussing why they're playing XM commercials on our show.
And do you know that it's going to be an option on all new model cars?
Let me ask you something.
By the way, we also did our research.
Right.
We study this fucking business. We know our enemies. We pay attention. So when someone is saying, you're going to be running XM commercials, we're not going to sit there like every other dumb jock in America and go, oh, okay. We actually did our research and found out as much info as possible. And Anthony is like, this whole going to be an option in new cars.
That's what frightened me the most. Is I could see something if you had to take all kinds of wires and gadgets and gizmos that it was never really going to take off anywhere past just the geek or tech guy or something like that. But when I heard that these things were going to be factory installed with your AM, FM radio, satellite radio available right there, just like AM and FM, I was like, oh boy, now there's trouble.
But I love the bravado of this. He starts every answer with this little John Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was how Ken operated.
Let me tell you something.
We love him.
And Ken wasn't just any general manager. He was one of the bigwigs.
Yep.
He was one of the most powerful general managers in Infinity Broadcasting. Here we go again.
And do you know that it's going to be an option on all new model cars?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You got that newfangled cable or satellite in your house?
You need money this bad,
right?
With all
you want us
those
to give
music
some of the money
channels on
back?
there,
Yeah,
including the blues channel.
I think it's great, as a matter of fact. And if you look at broadcast TV, the ratings down pretty low because of cable.
Answer my question.
Yeah, I do.
You did so when you're sort of walking around the house, instead of turning on the radio, you turn on channel 956 and listen to the blues channel or the kids channel, or
I believe there's enough people that do it that chip away.
There's my TV and there's my radio, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not watching TV in my car.
Why assume all this, Ken? Do we need the money that bad?
Yeah. Hey, we're in the...
Why don't we just list all the shows that are on opposite us? Because that's what you just did. You're killing us.
I took out the one where XM wanted to run the spot that said you were boring. I didn't run that one.
Really?
Yeah, no, I stuck to the one that said
and the company,
Blues Channel.
The company has no problem with this?
I guess not.
Must have been a big buy.
It must have been huge.
It wasn't.
Well, they probably will now that you've made an issue out of it.
It was supposed to be under the radar.
Oh, yeah, that's because our listeners are stupid.
And this thing is something that's Ken has dubbed newfangled.
Newfangled.
So I don't think it'll take off.
I don't think you guys were paying attention, but that's okay.
Oh, God. All right, Ken. Well, thank you.
That wasn't what I said.
Thank you for clearing that up for us.
I mean, if you're really certain that you're losing listeners to that blues channel on satellite radio, I'll stop taking the commercials.
That's all he had was that reference. He just didn't. Blues channel.
He did not see the freight train barreling down, man.
Do you think he's just holding the company line, or he really believed that?
I think he really believed it.
I think
they all did. All the heads, and this went right up to Mel Karmazin, who had the same ideology, who was, no ad for a competing form of entertainment would be taken if the word wasn't handed down by Mel. So he didn't see it either. And now he's the head of the doggy company. So he obviously changed his tune.
Exactly. Well, we have one more clip here. It's quick. Going back again. This is like 4 years ago. There was a day when sales didn't control radio, Anthony. It now controls it. I remember a time that they would fight with the competition, but now they welcome the business of the competition on their airwaves.
Let's see, hundreds of distortion-free channels that travel with you being offered in high-end cars driven by decision-makers. Ken's right, it'll never catch on.
Guys, I'll be doing a gig tonight, but, I don't want to talk about it. Let's plug Rich Voss.
Yeah,
I'll be in Poughkeepsie.
I wonder if, at some point, they'll make deals with people like us to carry our show, if people want that as an alternative no matter where they drive. But then It says, okay, what about if you're driving through an area that we're on at a regular radio station and you can get it on satellite? Where's the revenue coming from? It just throws a whole bunch of
Following the logic of this, I'm just assuming that this great company of ours is buying satellite radio.
Well, you know something?
They're jumping the gun.
It makes sense.
But you know what?
Get it up there and
they're probably
buy it.
not buying satellite radio.
No?
But instead, they're running ads for the competition, and no one sees anything wrong with that. Joe, what's going on?
Yo, guys, what's happening?
Hey,
listen, I just want to know, can you repeat everything you said? I lost the signal, man.
That's classic, you dick. Very good. And there you have it. We're back live here on XM. Isn't that just amazing?
Visionaries.
Visionaries, yes.
Yes.
We just don't say we're brilliant broadcasters. We show it to you.
If that was like a made-for-TV movie, I'd be like, that's... You know, one person...
So far-fetched.
Yeah, like... no one's ever that wrong. Like, whenever they do the made-for-TV movies, it's always like, let me tell you something, Terry Bradshaw, you're never going to be a quarterback, and you certainly will not win any championships. And then you're like, no one ever fucking said that. That is just over-dramatizing of this to sell this show, and that's literally what went down. You
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Ken swaggering... don't you worry about that, boys.
The Blues Channel.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something. When you go home, and he's trying to relate the two things, being at home and those upper channels where the music channels are.
Yeah.
You know, you hit there, you can listen to 70s, 80s, all kinds of music on your TV or your radio. It is different. I don't listen to those channels on my television. But I have a radio at home, and I listen to satellite radio.
Yeah, I listen to those channels on the TV now.
I've done that.
Because people are starting to chip away at that, too, and realize, oh, wow, I just got to go up here and I could get all these music channels.
But I have XM right there in my living room.
Right. Well,
so
if you got the DirecTV, you got the XM channels right there. So on your TV.
Oh, boy, was Ken so wrong.
And a lot of people...
I see nothing with the Sex for Sam thing. Guys, you go right ahead with it. 3 years running. Maybe we should have had someone else in charge.
And a lot of people want to know where Ken Stevens is today.
He's on a boat.
He's sailing the Chesapeake Bay.
He just sails
day in and day out.
That's it.
That's what he does now.
He's
enjoying his retirement, his early retirement.
A golden umbrella, his early retirement that we gave him on a gold platter. And now he's got a golden parachute.
Time to cash in the stock option.
Yep.
Time to go sailing. Whoops.
What do you think he's investing his money in?
Satellite radio.
Yes.
I would guarantee he's got shares of one company or the other.
Yeah.
There is satellite radio, and I would guarantee every single radio executive has shares of either XM or Sirius or both. Every single one of them. They bash it. They don't believe in it. They make ads saying don't listen to it, don't buy it.
And I believe most of them
free, and they buy the stock.
And I believe most of them are listening to satellite radio too.
Yeah.
Secretly faxing their resumes over.
Oh, of course, under assumed names.
You know they make good
blind boxes.
Salaries.
They're called.
They make good salaries. These guys, so they probably have newer vehicles where they're factory installs of satellite radio. Do you honestly believe they are trolling through all of those fucking commercials that they can't stand, or they're listening to satellite and listening to the music they want to hear or the talk they want to hear?
Mm-hmm.
They're such hypocrites.
So fast forward to the present. Now we got a hold of some of the free radio ads by celebrities.
Now they're getting the celebrities on board. At first it was just monotone guys saying...
Well, just to follow, at first they accepted all the satellite radio ads, and now satellite radio has become something. Now they're like, oh, fuck, we got to make anti-satellite radio ads. Dummies.
It really is funny when you look at the whole big picture.
They could have taken out a couple steps there, you know, just ignore. The key is to just ignore it. That's what they should have done, is just completely ignore satellite radio.
Yes.
But they actually helped this business grow. They certainly did.
Thank you.
They probably sped it along, who knows, maybe 6 to 8 months, you know. It probably grew that much faster because of what commercial radio was.
That's like being on stage at, like, Caroline's, and then behind you they have a banner for some other club down the street.
Another club that's convenient, right there, better.
Yeah, where the comedians are uncensored.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you can go see whatever comedian you want to hear.
Right.
Yeah, you just
and in
walk
between
in.
my act, it would just stop, and there would just be, I don't know, some sort of intermission.
Yeah, it's like saying the waitresses are hotter, showing more cleavage. There's more booze in your drinks. If you're lucky, you'll get 2 for 1, you know. All right, here's Bon Jovi talking about free radio.
Before we saw a million faces and rocked the mall, before we could sell out Giant Stadium, Moscow's Lenin Stadium, or London's Wembley Stadium, before we could close down Times Square just to play for 500,000 people, before my band became a household name, before we sold more than 100 million albums, you heard Bon Jovi on the radio.
Radio. You hear it here first.
That's because when they made it, there was no satellite radio, you fucking idiot.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know what that means. They're just so stupid in commercial radio. What does that mean?
Before we discovered a gold rush in California, we rode a Conestoga wagon across the country. Yeah. And
what are they
there's
trying to...
planes now.
What are they trying to accomplish with these ads? What
They're
does
making it
mean?
seem like Bon Jovi had the option. Do you want to be on free radio or satellite radio didn't exist during the slippery when wet days of 1986, maybe?
And here, just because, you know, everywhere you look, there's hypocrisy. Derek, hit it.
Hi, this is John Bon Jovi, and I'm proud to be one of the 5 million subscribers to the XM Nation.
Wait a minute. Come on, John. What is it?
Yeah, make a stand, man.
John?
We love John Bon Jovi. Make a stand.
What is he? John?
What's his it, man?
That is... He is completely on both ends of the spectrum on that one.
You have to
and
be.
I'm proud.
But you know what you have to be as the artist? Anything. You just,
wherever they're playing your shit, man.
Right.
Wherever they are playing your shit, you gotta smooch that ass.
I've never gotten involved in feuds between different comedy clubs. Like, if you play this club, you play that. No.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your fight.
Yeah. Just lick it. Lick the ass. There's the XM ass and the free radio ass. Lick them both.
You know, we love going off. All right. By the way, we might have to beat some people up around here. Paul in Cleveland. Paul, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Happy birthday, Billy. I was part of the PR firm that put together those John Bon Jovi spots.
Yeah.
Which
the
one?
The one about radio. The one about radio. And that was kind of more like an anti-MP3 player, you know, listen to the radio, not your iPod sort of thing. Not anti-satellite.
Yeah, no, I don't see that, sir. I see any of these pro-radio things are anti-satellite.
I didn't say it was good. I just said that was the aim.
Don't listen to your record player when you can listen to the radio.
Right.
Well, why would you waste time doing that?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's listen to another one. It's the Rolling Stones here. Come on.
Before we played stadiums.
Before a little TNA.
Before we had drug busts.
Before all a guitar needed was 5 strings, 2 fingers, and 1 asshole to play it.
It's a lovely thing.
You heard us.
The Rolling Stones.
On the radio.
Radio. You hear it here first.
I guess
I don't really know what they're for.
Yeah, what are they for?
I think
it could be for illegal downloading. I don't know.
They're advertising radio?
Yeah, they're advertising radio on the radio.
All right, so they're advertising
radio.
They want your business. They want you to listen to
the... It's a spot. It's a commercial break.
So it's pretty much anti-satellite radio, anti-iPods, anti-MP3,
anti-anything.
Illegal downloading. It's probably...
Computer.
They're losing so much business to everything. I think that's what they're trying.
Oh, no, they're not. Ask any one of them. Nothing has taken away listenership. All these forms of entertainment that have come about, where you can download they have songs on your toaster now, and that's not taken away from anything.
But, Anthony, they have such a great formula. There's nothing I love more than listening to the 20 minutes, 30 minutes of commercials, and then hearing a song that I just heard 40 minutes ago.
Me
and
too.
if it could be something of the pop genre.
Me too, and that's why I stick with it.
I could hear Eric Clapton's Layla one more time.
You know something? You never get tired of it.
It just keeps getting better.
Oh,
well, I'm sure Eric...
Oh, again!
Clapton shuts it off.
No, he does.
That's a great point.
He probably said, for the love of God.
Enough already. This fucking song again. So boring.
This is a great, good
bloody
phone.
boy. I hated it when I fucking did it.
Good phone call from Kevin. Kevin in Ohio, what's up?
Hey, what you guys are going through with this, every industry goes through this exact same thing. I mean, every industry, when somebody new comes in, they ignore them, or like you said, sometimes they'll even help them. And then when they become big, then they start bashing them, and they start thinking, holy shit, now we're in trouble. Now what do we do? There's so many examples of it.
This is textbook, huh?
Oh, it's so classic. I mean, what I do is I work in construction, and 50 years ago, there was no such thing as asphalt.
I bet you when that first Starbucks shop went up, little local coffee guy's like, come on.
Nothing but coffee.
Coffee stuff. I got my regulars. They're not going to pay attention to that.
Who's going to pay $4 for a cup of Joe?
Right. Yeah, you know, that old chip and away thing. Screw them.
Dude,
all right.
Dude, that guy's in construction. New technologies in that. We used to have to nail up every board, every drywall board with a hammer and a nail. And now you just beep, 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 beep. Who's the guy that's going, that'll never take. I'm going to die swinging this hammer. It's every industry has new technology. And unless you pay attention, you're done.
I remember when I came home one time, I had bought new luggage that actually had wheels on it, and at that point, there was very few of me, and most of them were stewardesses.
Yeah.
So both my roommates were trashing me. Going, a real man carries this fucking bag. And I'm like, really?
Just talking about that in the airport, sitting there, thinking, you know, years ago, people fucking held these things and carried these huge things of
running
luggage.
From terminal, trying to catch your
and it was everybody.
Flight.
I go, look around. Everyone is rolling their friggin' carry-on, and they roll their bags when they check them in. I go, but just years ago, man, people carried these big, hard-shelled fucking suitcase handles, heavy fucking thing. And now everyone's rolling.
Did you see people that used to set them down, you had to take a break?
Yeah.
That's why I was cracking up. I'm like, look, you fag. And it says, yeah.
Faggot.
You guys
the
making
wheel.
it easier.
That funny wheel, boy, that's never been convenient over history. Anything's better with a wheel on it.
The wheel is
anything.
The wheel is just a fad.
I don't care what you
guys
pick.
just described what I did going to Vegas.
What?
I don't have the wheels yet.
Are you insane?
I had like 2 duffel bags.
Dude, you're a crazy person.
No, I am.
You're a crazy person. You're in a business where we travel everywhere.
Right.
And you don't have the latest, nicest wheeled luggage.
I was when it took me 16 hours to get to Vegas and 13 hours door to door to get home, I was carrying my bags.
That's insanity. Now you're crazy. We play a goddamn thing where he's got the insight to see satellite radio as something that's going to be huge when everyone was like, what the fuck is that? And he's still pulling around friggin' wheelless luggage.
I'll admit I'm a brilliant broadcaster. I'm not brilliant in my everyday life.
Dude, get wheels.
I need to get wheels.
I just
the only people is like you and like old people. Every once in a while I see old people, they still have like with the floral pattern like luggage.
Floral print. Nothing beats that big hard shell green like Samsonite.
To match their pantsuit.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you hear it come down off of the baggage thing and it makes that thud sound.
Well, the listeners,
just
trying to get back on track here, so we have the listeners sending in anti-free radio ads. And the first one right off the bat is 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. What is going on?
What did we say when we said we wanted you to send these in? What did we say? I'm waiting for an answer. We said keep it short.
Keep it short and to the point.
The worst thing you could do with these things, worse than a short bad one, is a long good one.
Yeah, we don't want to work too hard. So I got it.
I think was that right?
If this bit takes off, we don't have to work as hard. And already you guys are wrecking the bit.
You're ruining the bit.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, This is Mr. Radio himself. Once brilliant, but will soon have to be eliminated.
Field investigation finding obsolescence. You know why you're here?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
You've been under investigation for the mandatory period of 1 year and 11 months. You're found to be obsolete.
Listen to you. You are so jealous. My show was revolutionary, groundbreaking. When I came on the scene, people were not doing a thing.
You are obsolete.
Hold it. Don't stop me.
You have no function.
I did a bit at NBC going back to 1980-something called the Bathroom Olympics. They'd say, hey, let's see who can go to the bathroom. We'll time it. And we'll see who can go faster. My audience used to eat that stuff up.
You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
You better calm down.
You're a bug.
Yeah.
Ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
Papa.
Yeah.
Make it brief.
Spiritual, sexual.
Sit back in your chair.
Papa, don't preach.
Go ahead, baby. It's all yours.
In my tits inside God. My tits are godly. My tits are God.
The state has proven that there is no God.
I'm keeping my bed.
That will be all.
Well, I mean, I had a dream when I was, like Martin Luther King, when I was 5 years old.
You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
I'm learning to be better.
You waste our time, then you're not worth the waste. How do you find, ladies and gentlemen?
Obsolete.
Obsolete.
You are obsolete. You are obsolete.
This is what is meant by paying the fiddler. This is the comeuppance awaiting every man when the ledger of his life is opened and examined. The tally made and then the reward or the penalty paid. This is Judgment Night in the WNEW Zone.
All right. I remember that episode.
But it's not the anti-free radio ads. Why was that bunched in with this? That's more of a...
Yeah.
That's like anti-Howard, a Howard Stern daughter remix.
Right, yeah.
Like it's
covering all the bases there.
3 or 4 different bits. I think there was a Pat O'Brien sex tape in it. I don't know. All right.
It wasn't badly done.
No, it was pretty good.
A little long.
Yeah. Let's say hi to Keith the cop. Hey, Keith, what's up?
Hey, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning.
So, how would you actually put wheels on a gym bag?
Yeah, Opie's decided he's just going to be like, you're not going on a trip. He's not going on a trip. He's just kind of dropping in somewhere for the night.
You know, after he finally got there, and I met him at the airport, and I said, all right, let me get your bags for you. Well, what do they look like? So he says, well, they're kind of like duffel bag looking. And you see the bag come off the chute, and like the zipper's open, a pair of pants are hanging out of the zip. It's like,
what?
I just look at him and I go, oh, very snazzy.
Fancy luggage.
Fancy luggage for a fancy.
What's kept you from just getting one luggage bag?
What's kept me from buying a house? I don't know what's wrong with me. Wow, I'm a
Do you
mess.
just not like to shop?
I've upgraded my stuff, but
yeah, look at that sweater.
Dude, this is my sick clothes.
You can do that online. You could get luggage.
I'll
bring it right to your house.
Because then the night before, I have to think about every single thing I'm packing because I know my luggage is going to be too heavy to walk through the airports.
Yeah, you're definitely not bringing any sort of electronics. There's no laptop in your bag. It's just like
my brain is not wired when it comes to like this normal shit that people have figured out.
When it comes down the baggage thing, you just hear. Because your deodorant is just spraying into your clothes.
Oh, I have more shampoo bottles that break.
Just broken, goopy clothes.
I can't even tell you. All right. Well, thanks for calling me out on that, Keith.
No, man. You gotta bring the toiletries on the plane.
By the way, why don't you tell Anthony how happy I was when I found out in Vegas that I was flying to the wrong airport?
I got about 14 phone calls from different people to let me know that you were not very happy. And, it was a rough morning. Somebody threw up a lot, and...
not me. I didn't throw up.
It was rough.
Nah.
But, yeah, listen, we had a good time when we were there.
Right.
And besides the beating that you and I took at the table that first day.
Well, compared to Anthony, it was nothing.
Little 3-card.
Little 3-card, lost about 200 in like 15 minutes, though.
Yeah.
Not even. It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw Opie open his wallet more in 15 minutes than I have in 6 years, but,
I wish I could do my crazy laugh, but it hurts too much to. Thank you, Anthony.
I'll stand in.
All right, Keith.
All right, gentlemen. Good morning. Have a good one.
All right.
I don't get that true hatred in it, though, like Opie does.
He also has to, like, back, like, 10 feet off of the mic.
Yeah, he's got to back up, like, to the wall, and just, it belts out. And you don't just hear it, you feel it. There's an emotion that it evokes. Just hatred.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's try some of the anti-free ads that came in by the listeners, okay?
Right.
To wrap up this segment. This is Rugburn.
Here at Free FM, we believe there should be quality over quantity. We strive to bring you the best shows in radio broadcasting. For example, The Don and Mike Show, The Schnitz Show, Mad Dog, The Grease Man. Nah, fuck it. This message brought to you by Satellite Radio.
Yeah. Bill, comment?
The voiceover never has, like, any sort of confidence in it, and it's always so quiet, like, XM Satellite Radio.
There's,
Mad Dog, and...
oh.
You just picture
fuck it. It shakes a little bit.
All right, here we go. We'll try the next one, which is, I'm telling you right off the bat, because we discovered we got a lot of fine black listeners.
Of course.
And we like them. Patrice discovered that they have this whole underground thing. They don't want to acknowledge they're fans of this program, unfortunately, because of the racism that occurs on this program.
I meet plenty of people of color that are fans of this program.
Well, this is Johnny Griswold.
All right.
The house next door to me's been sold to Nick.
Hear the rest of that song and many others like them only on XN Satellite Radio.
Holy shit.
All right, I have to laugh. That's pretty funny.
Wow.
Jesus.
Hear the rest. Wow, with pride.
With pride. Make sure you crank it up for the neighborhood.
Jesus.
All right, the next one is from Chris from Houston. Doesn't get the bit. He doesn't get the bit guy.
He doesn't get the bit guy?
There's supposed to be anti-free radio ads.
There's always doesn't get the bit guy when we put the word out to the listeners that we want them to contribute to a bit, and this guy obviously doesn't get it.
He's doing radio should be free.
Radio should be free, just like AIDS.
All right.
I like that one just because it's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre. He's kind of in the ballpark with it, though. Like he's saying that free radio is free, but, you know,
right.
So is AIDS.
Right.
And it deserves to be free.
Right.
And the kazoo music bed was great, too.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, let's go to Snapman.
Free FM. Hey, at least it's better than that Kabbalah play.
Papa, don't preach.
Oh, man.
Now, why don't you just leave her alone?
It's just beginning. You can feel it. It's just bubbling right now. It's just bubbling.
Ah, that poor girl.
It's just bubbling right now.
She's a good kid.
The audio's up on
Howard, she's 22
OpenAnthony.com.
years old. She's your kid, but she ain't a kid.
The remixes will start coming in tomorrow. I guarantee that.
With them tits. Those are woman's tits.
How do you say...
Wow. You see those things?
No, actually.
Great. Big. A little sloppy. She got some slop to her. She eats good.
We have Vamp Cry. Is that this name?
You're asking Hawk?
Yeah. Vamp Cry?
Why pay for radio when you can get great programming for free?
Oh.
Yeah, really. Like Diamond Dave in the morning.
Bozy, bozy, bop. City bop. Hit her in the uterus.
Ew. On second thought, I'd rather have Jimmy's fist in my twat.
Free FM. You get what you pay for. Paid for by the ONA Army.
Oh, that's very good. Actually, that's Jeremy and Rachel. Sorry about that.
That's very funny.
Wrong track queued up. Jeremy and Rachel did that one. Here's Vamp Cry. Anti-free radio ads.
Free radio if you want your daughter bedding down with Negroes. Free FM.
Holy shit. That's a celebrity endorsement with Jimmy Norton.
That's right. Here's another one using a Jimmy line.
Free, the way the Jews want you to be. Free FM, it just sucks.
All right, a little anti-Semitism never hurt anyone? Okay, maybe it did.
All right, here's Chris in Houston. Anti-free radio ads.
So I open the door and she's sitting there eating his sucking on his and eating his XM Radio. Uncensored, you nigger cunt faggot.
Holy shit.
I think that one was actually an advertisement for free radio.
Right. Sometimes you can use the bleep.
Wow.
Sometimes the bleep is good.
The guy had a great concept and then just threw it over the mountain.
Yeah.
Just said, fuck it.
I'm going for broke here.
I'm going for broke.
I'm all in.
That was a 3-for-1.
You have to believe in your creativity there, sir. You're on the right track. Here's Inbred.
Bozy, bozy, bop. Life goes on without me.
Radio. Some things you have to pay for.
All right, he just shot Diamond Dave.
Yeah. And then finally, the last one that came in today, anti-free radio ads. So confusing. This is the description of the track. So confusing. Just had to add to the list to see if anyone gets it.
Mm-hmm.
By Wittendrun or something like that. Wit and Run. Oh, Wit and Run.
Right.
Okay.
Little Declan is 13 years old.
Have you seen my son?
The child gets thirsty.
Can't find my son.
Then he runs.
Mama, I don't wanna. Mama, not again.
What the fuck?
You can shit off Free FM. I'll pay for my nipple juice.
Do you routinely use off-color language as part of your business lexicon?
Idiot. All right, well.
Wow.
That could have been...
Those first XM ads were as confusing as that, then that guy actually would have had a fucking point, because I had no idea
Ken
what
would have
that
been
was
right.
about. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if the first XM ads sounded like that to people. Maybe Ken was right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want you to picture yourself.
Picture, if you will, driving in your car.
That was kind of good, though, right?
Yeah, they're getting there. The first batch is always a little
I
rough.
would have to say bit still on.
Bit's still on. Guys,
it's
keep them
shaky,
short.
though. It's shaky. The wheels are shaking. They're wobbling. We got some wobbly wheels on this bit, but I think we're going to continue with it for a little while.
Let's pull into the pits. We'll tighten some stuff up and put them back out on
like
the track.
driving an old Chevette over 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's shaking. It's pulling a little.
But then when you got it up to 80, it kind of leveled out.
Smooths out.
Yeah.
Some of these bits, they're dead in a day, and others, like the Pat O'Brien sex tape thing, went on for well over a month.
Here it is, guys. Keep them short.
Keep them short.
Make it, the free FM. Think of what sucks about free radio. The commercials. The lack of freedom because of the FCC. the